Have you all ever heard the story of the Casablanca Inn and the hauntings there by a lady named Mrs. Bradshaw? Well, I'm going to tell you all the story tonight. The inn in St. Augustine, Florida was built in 1914, and it served as a home for families and children and salesmen, that was traveling. And it was known for its very friendly service, and it was very clean. So it was popular because it was one of those hotels that was very clean and very warm. The owner, Mrs. Bradshaw, she took very good care of her guests. So back then, she also was struggling financially. And back then they had the prohibition where the alcohol was illegal. So even though she was a law-abiding citizen, Mrs. Bradshaw took up the opportunity to start working with bootleggers. It was also said that she had fell in love with one of the bootleggers as well. So one of the bootleggers who was, bringing this rum over from Jamaica and places like that, she fell in love with him. And what Mrs. Bradshaw would do for him and other bootleggers in order to make some extra money to keep things afloat is she would serve as a place for them to stay and to bring their booze and their rum and things like that from the sea. And what she would do is she would signal the bootleggers with her lantern from her window upstairs, so they would know that the coast was clear, that there weren't any police or anything like that around. Now, mind you, Mrs. Bradshaw, she was questioned plenty of times back then about the bootlegging and helping people bring this liquor and alcohol over, but she was never arrested or anything like that. So she was a pretty good person, just wrapped up with, needing extra money and things like that to stay afloat. And so that's the story of what was going on back then. And this was in the night around the 1920s. So in the 1920s era. And so what is said now, all these years later, people who visit the Casablanca Inn, they actually see a lantern at nighttime just flashing in Mrs. Bradshaw's window where she used to sleep. You could see a lantern just flashing and going back and forth. Fishermen and people that's just out there on the sea, they also, and on the ocean, whatever, they tell the story of, hey, I saw this light in the window. And it's been reported many occasions, many times. And so visitors at this Casablanca Inn, they say that they can hear children running, even though there's no kids at the hotel. They hear kids running around and, laughing and making noises, but there are no kids around. They also said they can, hear a lady, one resident who was staying there, she had reported that she could smell oranges, even though there were no oranges around. She could smell oranges in her room. Another lady said that she took a picture of herself, just took a selfie in a mirror, and when she snapped the picture, there was another woman standing behind her. So, and it was a ghost. It was a ghost of a woman standing behind her. There are other stories of the housekeepers, from the housekeepers. One housekeeper, she says she doesn't even want to go into the room of where Mrs. Bradshaw used to sleep because she feels like it's haunted. She's been in the room, she's made the bed up, just cleaning, and she said she's seen a dent in the bed, as if someone was asleep in the bed. She saw a dent. So she's terrified now to go into that room. She also reported how one time she cleaned off one of the tables, the end tables, which had, you know, a tablecloth on it, and something removed the tablecloth while she was in there. So she doesn't ever want to go in that room. So she tries her best not to go in that room. Once it's clean, they try to, you know, keep it clean, or she, I guess, sends someone else in there. I'm not sure if they even use that room, but that is one of the stories that I heard, you know, that the housekeeper has said. So that is the story of the Casablanca Inn, and that is in St. Augustine, Florida. So if you ever are down there in that area, check out the Casablanca Inn and let me know. If you see Mrs. Bradshaw or anybody else, let me know.